What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who this is, Matthew, also known as Matthew on Table. Today's video is another reaction video. This video is called Why the Barbz Will Never Let Nicki Fail. You know what to do if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into this. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Barbz Inc. It'll be in the description though. But we're gonna get into this.
So Nicki has one of the strongest fan bases on social media, and so I really wanted to do a deep dive into what makes Nicki's fans so devoted and loyal to her. Like, what is it about Nicki Minaj? So this video is going to be discussing the 3 ways Nicki Minaj has cultivated such a devoted and loyal fan base. Hi, my name is Bolaji and you're at Bolaji Inc. and I'm a creative marketing consultant. I spend my day thinking about marketing campaigns for healthcare, tech companies, hospitality companies, musicians. Like, I've worked with everybody. And so, like, I enjoy breaking down the people in pop culture who use marketing techniques so covertly that you don't even know it's marketing most of the time. Okay, let's get into the video. Thank you. She was notorious on MySpace. You know, she had a lot of fans on MySpace. And those fans were able to nicely transition into Twitter. And so she was able to build a huge following on Twitter as well. She very early on made use of the social media tools that were available to her. It was in an era where celebrities were not interacting with their fans. They were not trying to be relatable at all. It was all about like the most luxury you could be. And Nicki kind of went against the grain and was actually interacting with her fans on Twitter, MySpace. A lot of these Barbz who are super devoted have a story of Nicki like liking a comment, liking a picture, DMing them, having a FaceTime with her.
How old are you? Oh, you sound like a little bitty bug. Okay, so listen, Bella, I want to send you a shirt and I want to just say thank you for the love and the support.
A lot of these fans have actual personal interactions with Nicki, and she really took the time in her early career to engage with her fans, talk to her fans, make them feel special, make them feel loved. And those early on fans were the ones who were able to kind of pioneer the Barbz. And in that era of like luxury and unrelatability, it did make Nicki seem more relatable to her fans, like especially because her persona and her image was this like super pop, you know, larger than life character, pink hair, pink everything, you know. And so I think her being able to talk to her fans and her actually engaging with her fans made her seem like more down to earth, in contrast with her image. And now we're seeing like this era where it's like it's a trend to actually be a Barb. Like, I'm seeing like 30-year-old women, 40-year-old women, like, I'm a Barb. I'm just like okay, but like, no, literally it's a trend now. Even I checked on TikTok and she has 30 billion views on TikTok. This is like not a new artist. Like, she's been around for like 10 plus years. You can see her fan base are really engaged even up until this day, and they are like flooding the streets with Nicki Minaj content. Number 2, there's rules to being a Barb, and I feel like that's really what helps even snap up the community more. It's like, you know, like being part of a sorority or something where it's like, well, we only do these things because we're Barbs. Like, if you're not a Barb, you wouldn't get it. It's this community that we have these rules and we follow, and like, if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you're not a Barb. Okay, so let's get into the rules. Number 1, Nicki Minaj is queen bee and the rest of these Barbs are the worker bees. And if anyone goes against queen bee, the worker bees will get you. And so you are not allowed to mess with any of Nicki Minaj's ops. Like, if anyone has spoken out on Nicki and then you support that person, you're not a Barb. Of course, don't say anything bad about Nicki. Those are the rules, apparently. And within this Barb community, especially like on Twitter, you see where you get rewarded for going in for Nicki. So if you're supporting Nicki, if you're dragging someone who's against Nicki, if you find somebody's address that dragged Nicki, like, you get points in this Barb community, and it's like you rise up the ranks and you're a super Barb, you know? And so this actually created an air of fear around Nicki, because like people are actually scared to come at Nicki because the Barbz will get you. You know, these are the rules they follow, and they all follow these rules. It's just like when you join something that there's rules that you have to follow, if you actually do follow those rules, it does make you feel like you're part of something that's bigger than yourself, like you are part of a community. And I think that does help create a very devoted and loyal community, because obviously if they have enough time and willpower to follow the rules that you have basically laid down, then they're gonna do that. You know, that's a lot of power at your fingertips. Like, they will go hard for you when and however you ask. I genuinely think like if Nicki Minaj decided to say let's do a riot, like let's I think Nicki Minaj could like actually solve a lot of like economic problems if she just was like, Barbz, like let's go protest. Like I genuinely think like those Barbz in particular, yeah, they will go in. And so the last thing I think Nicki Minaj does really well in helping to breed this fan base and this Barb community is that the culture within the Barbz is that it is a family, not a fan base. We are a family. Like we look after each other, we protect one another, we defend one another, we meet in public, we actually do stuff. Like the Barbz are like a self-sustained community in their own right. Barbz will arrange parties. Like you can actually throw a sold out party and like all the Barbz will come. Like it's weird because like what other fan base? Only a few people can like literally create whole events about one person and like it can actually sell out and be full. I've even seen like TikToks and I've seen YouTube videos like completely dedicated to like Nicki Minaj and her fan base, and they are like successful, like 100k followers. Do you get what I mean? Like, so the fan base in itself has like an economy almost, where it's like there's like things you can do. Like even if you're not Nicki Minaj, you can still make money off the Barbz. They on their own. I don't know how much Nicki is involved because, you know, like I like to believe that Nicki probably has a few of their numbers where she's like, okay, y'all gonna do this today, do that tomorrow. Like, okay, let's be for real. But they have like streaming parties where they'll like say, okay, we want this song to go #1, and like they'll all stream it and then the song will go #1. They have their own things that they do to keep themselves entertained when Nicki's not even like saying anything, tweeting anything. Like they are still happy to be a Barb because there's that community that they built for themselves. The Barbz create group chats, they have clubhouse calls, and I feel like Nicki Minaj in general, her fan base kind of attracts people who are kind of like maybe in essence kind of feel misunderstood in a way. They are able to like connect on these shared values that they have between each other, but also their love for Nicki, and they are able to express their love by promoting Nicki and supporting Nicki. So it's incredibly beneficial for Nicki because these fans, like their way of moving and supporting and living and like enjoying life is by supporting Nicki. Like that is such a strong and devoted fan base. So what can we learn from this? The number one thing I kind of wanted to talk about is like take advantage of social tools while they are still early, because when they're early they're gonna have the most boost. For example, Nicki Minaj knew like, let me go on Twitter, let me like a bunch of people, let me tweet at a bunch of people, let me do that now, because like back then that was literally like I remember when like people would get followed by Justin Bieber and it's like I got followed by Justin Bieber. Like now, if you say you got followed by a celebrity, you're actually considered to be clout chasing. But back then, it was like because that was just not a thing. Like it was not a thing. And so example of that in nowadays would be like, for example, YouTube. They do YouTube Shorts, so they are pushing that so much more. There was a point in time where Instagram was pushing Reels, and so if you took advantage of those things, you could have maybe boosted your following. Don't be lazy, like get on it. And if people are trying to talk to you and they want to have conversations with you, while you have the time, while you have the effort, reply to everybody, make everybody feel special. So overall, I believe that Nicki Minaj made the female rap market her market, right? And she dominated for years and years and years and years. And so I believe, of course, those elements of her being like the only rapper for so long is another reason why she has a huge fan base. I think the controversy around Nicki also made her have like a lot of fans because she's a bit polarizing, so people have to come to defend her. There's so many things, but I do think those things that I mentioned prior are the reasons why she's been able to build this devoted and loyal fan base. Like people will go to the ends of earth for Nicki Minaj, and like that should not be understated. So if you like this video, then definitely watch my video about Kim Kardashian and her hero to villain arc. It's a bit of a different video to this one, but it's still very interesting and you'll really enjoy it. And
alright y'all, that's all for this video. If you liked it, you know what to do. Go check out her channel. I'll link it in the description. And that's all from me. I'll catch y'all in the next video or whatever we do. I'm out.